Hey, what's up, everyone? Ralph here. So during my job searching days, the things that I hated most was obviously when it comes to the whole job searching process was obviously looking for a job, applying for a job, getting your resume ready, your cover letter, going on the interviews, right? Now, thankfully, I don't have to do those things anymore. However, when I did do that, I understood how important it was to present yourself in a way for you to get the job, right? You make sure you're dressed nicely, make sure you're well kept, right? Make sure you're prepared for the questions that's going to come your way. You want to make sure that you're ready to get this job. However, in this video, I'm going to show you a woman who clearly doesn't understand that, right? She's having a difficult time understanding why she's having so much trouble looking for a job. So I'm just gonna let her talk, and then you probably just so you can hear what she said and so she can share her experience for why she's having so much trouble looking for jobs.
So I wanted to come on here and talk about something that is really starting to annoy me. So I applied for a job at TJ Maxx a few weeks ago, and they denied my application. They couldn't even call me. They just sent me some automated email. So I went in today and I was like, so what was the reason I didn't get hired? And she was like, oh, like, you just, like, don't have enough experience. There was candidates that had, like, more experience than you. And, I asked her if it was about my tattoos, obviously, because I know a lot of places don't like tattoos. She said that wasn't the reason.
Well, clearly she's lying. She's definitely lying. And it's not so much your tattoos. It's almost, it's not so much the tattoos the problem. It's where they're placed, right? And if you look at the tattoos, look at we got a lot of demonic things going on here, right? We got a demon skull on her neck. We have a demonic goat on her chest. We got the tattoo on her forehead. She got a bunch of piercings going around in her mouth, and then she got the septic tank right on her nose, right? So I mean, the whole not septic tank, the septic deviated septum, whatever it is, right? She got this little bull nose ring thing going on, and you're talking about TJ Maxx, right? TJ Maxx, you got a lot of families that come in. You got children, you got mothers. They don't want to see these things, right? They don't want to see someone covered up in tattoos. It's going to scare them. It's going to make them feel a certain way, and they don't want that being presented in their establishment. Okay. Now you had like simple tattoos going on. I mean, obviously that's not a problem. Having tattoos is not an issue. It just is mainly where they're placed. And of course, they see that you're not going to get the call back. Right, it's just not like if you're gonna look for a job, if you have all these tattoos, you're gonna look for jobs where either at a bar, strip club, any other place where tattoos are acceptable, right? Or they won't have an issue with it. This is the norm. But a place like TJ Maxx, man, you can't expect to get hired there. Like they're gonna look at that and say like, what's going on? Like I can't. You could be a good worker, but I have no idea. Like people going to see these tattoos and think a certain way. Okay, so that's something she needs to understand.
I don't feel like that's true, but whatever, I'll leave it at that. So I'm just wondering how like teenagers and young adults who haven't had a job before, how are they supposed to get employed if these places are only hiring people with experience? So
I mean, I would be honest. I wouldn't worry about the 16-year-olds. Like that's not your concern. You don't need to worry about the 16-year-olds. You need to worry about yourself and focus on what you're trying to do, because like, why are you concerned about 16-year-olds? Like as long as they look presentable and they're eligible to work at TJ Maxx, they should be able to get it, because you don't really need that much experience when you talk about TJ Maxx, a retail store. You don't really need that much experience, right? Like depending if that person's 16, 17, more than likely they're just gonna be racking up clothes, doing other things, and then eventually if they want to work on a register, they'll train them for that. So that's a job that doesn't require too much experience. So the fact that they said that they're looking for someone with, you don't have the experience, I mean that they lied to you. That's BS. It's the tattoos are clearly an issue. They can't say that, obviously. But yeah, I wouldn't concern myself with the 16-year-olds. Obviously, those getting out of high school, getting out of high school. They as long as they do well in the interview and they show some decency, they should be able to get the job, right? TJ Maxx is not looking saying, oh, we got a 16-year-old, let's not hire that 16-year-old. No, these are the type of workers that they're looking for, as long as they're presenting themselves in a decent manner. So
younger people just can't get a job because they haven't worked enough. So like they'll deny a 16-year-old a job because they don't have enough work experience. Like it just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I do okay with money as is, so I didn't like need the job, but I would have liked it to have made some extra money so I could pay off my debt quicker. I want you guys to talk.
So yeah, I'm not gonna. There's like another 90 seconds that we're not gonna go through. She's just gonna talk about other bunch of nonsense. I think you get the drift. But like, look at man, presenting yourself, how you present yourself is important, right? In any aspect of life. It's not even just, you're going for an interview for a job, but it's just anywhere. Like if I were supposed to if I went on a date with a girl, right? First date, right? And I came up in there with some bummy clothes ripped up, smelling, breath stinking. I got doo-doo crust in my eyes. And then, after the date was done, I'm trying to worry about, like, I'm giving her a call to set up a second date, and then she's not responding. And I'm here wondering, like, what's the problem? Like, I mean, clearly what the problem is that you clearly don't care, right? Like your breath stink, doo-doo crust in your eyes. You're not going to get a second date because you didn't present yourself well the first time, right? You're not going to get a response. And this is a part of any aspect in life. How you present yourself matters, right? Some people obviously wish it wasn't like that, but that's just the reality of life, man. That's just, we're human beings. We're very judgmental. We look at it, and depending on the situation, depending on the environment, depending on where we're at, how you present yourself matters, right? Especially if you're going for an interview. Like if you're going for an interview, depending on the interview, some interviews are very light, very casual. Some are very buttoned up. You got to wear a suit. So it really depends on the circumstance and the situation, and you need to understand that. And if you're looking at a place like TJ Maxx, which is it's not that high profile job. It's just a little retail job. You could get away with tattoos, but when you got tattoos placed where they are, and the types of tattoos that she's got going on, like she's tattooed all over the place, especially in her face, like that. Like you see somebody like that, you don't want to be judgmental, but like you start to question, like, all right, is this person okay? Like why do you have to get to a point where you have tattoos all over your face? Right? TJ Maxx may not be the place for you, right? And this is not to be judgmental, it's just the reality of life. Like this is how we all are, and this is human nature. Not like you said, if she was working at a bar, a tattoo parlor, any other place or an establishment where tattoos are more acceptable, then obviously this wouldn't be an issue. But you're going to TJ Maxx where the family goes, and then you're gonna have an issue. So I think it's important to understand, like we all understand it. I question if this is even serious, because I think she knows this. Like I question if this interview even happened. Maybe she just conjured the story up in her head. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. Regardless, we all understand the situation when it comes to presenting ourselves in a way that is acceptable to the situation. And the fact that she doesn't understand and she thinks it's just because of the experience thing, it's not. It's really not. But they can't say that. Can't say it's about the tattoo. But let me hear your thoughts, all right? Make sure to leave a comment down below. Hit the like button and share. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe, all right? So you guys take care. Have a good one. Later.